go fishing this morning. Not gonna need a lot of tackle. If you're a subscriber to my school, you've already seen this and you know exactly what I'm about to do and all the details of what I'm about to talk about today. So the whole month of September, I've been doing this new series on my app, and the whole thing is based around not fishing out of a boat. I haven't used a boat for the whole thing. It's called Mastering the Bank. One thing I notice is most of the time when they hear about bank fishing, they almost always assume that's pond fishing, and pond fishing is just one part of fishing from the bank. Like in this series, I talked about wading. Now I'm going to talk about pond fishing, actual farm ponds fishing today. There's wading, there's fishing lakes. There's all different types of scenarios that you could do without a boat. I think all of it's worth exploring, and that's what this series is about, is exploring all the possibilities of fishing without a boat. I would say if you fish ponds at all, or if you fish on foot at all, this whole series, this is for you. So my job, what I try to do is just try to expose, when I say fishing is easy, just try to make it easier for you to recognize what things you may be missing, what things you may not be seeing that'll make fishing easy for you. So today, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm always saying, you know, fishing is easy, fishing is easy. I'm gonna show you one of the little things, one thing that I noticed about fishing from shore that I think changes everything. I mean, I truly do believe this. What I'm about to show you could increase how many fish you catch fishing from the bank without a boat, literally by 50%. I think you can almost double your catches doing just this one thing. And you don't need a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna put everything I need today for fishing, I'm gonna have in this one little baggie. I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna fish. Before we even get started today, I always like to set intention. I like to know what my goal is before I even start fishing. What do I plan to do? A lot of people say, you know, I don't want to have any preconceived notions. Dude, I try to have as many preconceived notions and imaginations, dreams, whatever you want to call it. I want to know everything before I hit the water as much as possible. I think this part is the most important part. Before you go fishing, ask yourself these 3 questions, and I promise you it's going to up your catch ratio and make fishing seem so much easier. First thing you want to do is you want to ask the fish. You want to ask yourself, not the fish. You can ask the fish. I don't know what kind of answer you're going to get back, but ask the fish what they're eating. Figure out what they're eating. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to discover what the food source, whether that be brim, whether that be crappie, whether that be some type of shad, you want to discover what the food source is using as well. And then number 3, I got to find a bait. Get this is the most important part. Really listen to this very closely. I got to find a bait that allows me to present it wherever that bait is. So what I'm trying to say, if the fish are feeding on shad and the shad is around lily pads, it's probably going to be a bad idea to go in there with a 6XD or some type of treble hook bait. I got to find a bait that I can fish where the bait fish is and where the fish is, that I can present to them without snagging up, and then I can get it down or keep it up to where they are. All right, that bait today, it's not like you haven't seen it before. This one is a little special, but this is a chatterbait mini max. It's from Z-Man, of course. I got 2 of them. Really, the only difference in these 2 is the trailers, the color trailers that I have on them. But it's the perfect bait for the situation that I'm about to have today. Let me tell you why. I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, another chatterbait video. What's gonna be so special about this chatterbait, Brian? Well, let me go ahead and break your heart. There's not much that special about it. It is a smaller, compact version of a chatterbait. It's a 1/4 ounce and a 3/8 ounce. I think it's the heaviest one they make in the Mini Max. I'll actually leave a link in the description box if you decide you want to buy this particular chatterbait. I got them on my website, shopblat.com. But what's specifically good about this bait is how I'm going to be able to fish it today. Remember, I mentioned we got to find what the fish are eating, figure out where what the fish are eating is living, and get a bait that we can present in those areas. Today I'm gonna be fishing so stupid dummy shallow. I'm talking like ankle deep water. And what I love about this bait in particular is I'm gonna be able to keep it up high and keeping it from getting snagged in all the little bushes and little grass and slimy stuff that's on the bank. If y'all ever tried to fish like a Texas rig and on the bottom that has like that slimy, snotty green stuff, so aggravating. You're not gonna get a bite if you got that slime on there. But if you throw something like this, like you're about to see in this video, where you can keep it up off the bottom, reel it fast, and it looks like brim, which is what the fish are eating. One of the things that I like to do is you got to remember your fish are predators. They're always going to set up in a place where they can jump out, especially largemouth. They're going to set up in a place where they can jump out and grab something. This is the analogy that I always like to use. Is if I was chasing you around, like if we were in the house and I wanted to corner you, chase you down so I could tackle you, I probably would I'd probably try to corner you in some type of situation. I'd try to get you in a corner where you couldn't get out. And so in a farm pond, they do this in a lake too. They use the bank, they use the shoreline for that. And so instead of making a cast, and I'm not saying always, but instead of making a cast out in the middle of the pond, one of the best things you can do, especially when fishing farm pond or bank fishing in general, is you want to make your cast. You see how I'm making them parallel to the bank? And that's very strategic. The reason I'm doing that is just about all the brim, or at least the brim and the crawfish and the things that the bass are going to be eating, they actually live along the shoreline. But not only that, along the shoreline, that gives the fish somewhere to push that bait up against. This is like me cornering you in a room. He can't go back any further. Only thing he can do is go left or right. So a lot of times the fish will corner their prey. They'll corner them along the bank. So it makes it easier. It makes your bait seem a lot more easy to attack if you cast along the bank. And then of course it's just a straight retrieve. You can just throw it out. That's the thing about a chatterbait. I'd love to give it to him. Oh my God, that's a better one. Oh dude, did you see that thing, bro? He hit it so hard. Holy crap. He hit him and he hit it and I hit him. That's about a 2.5 pounder there. That one is a little bit better fish there. Look at that, man. That's a 2.5, 3 pounder. See, that's what I was saying about the chatterbait. So many times when you throw a wacky rig, you don't really know what the pond has available, but when you take the chatterbait and you make the right cast, like I was saying, they're using that bank as their corner. They're cornering those brim, they're cornering those minnows. That's why I'm throwing it so shallow and keeping it up high like that. That's at least a 2, man, that might be close to a 3 pounder. I wish I brought my scale there. I can't wait to talk about this on live on the app tonight. Now, if you want to know where you can get this bait that I'm using right here, this is called a Chatterbait Mini Max. I got a minnows trailer on here. I made what I called a pond fishing kit, and I'm leaving a link in the description box where you can get this on my website, shopblat.com. shopblat.com. If you're looking to get this particular chatterbait, this color is called bluegill. I have a purple demon trailer, and then I also have one that's called gold rush. But right now I'm fishing the purple demon trailer on a 1/4 ounce Mini Max chatterbait. Catch one more, I'll do like a video on just how to retrieve this thing and how to wind it back. So I catch one more right fast. There he is. Oh God, there's a good one. Oh man, I threw in that corner. I literally threw in that corner, I bet a dozen times. I threw in the same corner like a dozen times. That's one thing you have to pay attention to when you're out here too is, you know, unlike a lake, the only place these fish got to go is right here. And so you want to make repeated casts to the same spot over and over and over and over, because those fish are just cycling through those areas. they'll be over here for a minute and then they just swim down the bank. And you can sit there, if it's an area that you know is supposed to hold bass, there probably will be one there at some point. If any of y'all watching this video from the Straight Up Fishing app, leave me a comment in the comments section and let me know what your favorite bank fishing farm pond lure is. For me, it's probably gonna be a Ned rig and a chatterbait. I love to throw the chatterbait just because I can put it in so many different places. But let me know, do two things. Let me know what your favorite pond fishing lure is, and then also let me know color, because I have my own theories on colors when it comes to fishing ponds.